What does this hair do? I'm live. Hello, friends. Here we go. Here we go. All right, friends. Today we'll be talking about densities. And if you're familiar with the raw material, okay, I look like a clown. It's okay. Um, and universal cosmology of existence, then you probably heard the word density. Currently, the humanity is at the end of the third density. But what does it mean? And also, another big question, what is density versus dimension? Because we talk about 5D, which is fifth dimensional word, or 4D, fourth density. And they basically similar. So what density means is a density of light. In the higher densities, we become more light, denser light, less physicality. And that's what the term density means. It's a density of consciousness, density of light. And the dimension is like progression. We're becoming multidimensional. We become aware of ourselves being more multidimensional. And so right now, humanity is going to that new stage. Both negative and positive polarity go into the fourth. So the positive polarity is people who are aligned with service to others, love, freedom, respect for others, respect of free will, honor of other and themselves. That's positive. And the negative polarity have no respect for free will. It's the system where you thrive on oppressing others, on using others for your own self-interest. So it's a service to self path. And in the third and fourth density, which we're on the third and going to the fourth, there's two paths, three actually paths, but two distinct opposite paths, which is positive and then negative. And the third path is, of course, the path of confusion, or the path of people who did not decide what they want. And so those staying in the third density, and it was so much, talk about it, how some people are being left behind. They're not left behind. In each density, there are lots of lessons, and those souls simply choose to stay and learn more lessons of the third density. And the third density, which we just finishing right now, some of us graduating to the fourth, it's the shortest density, and yet it's the most intense. There is the most lessons. There is the most sort of like, I don't want to use the word pain, but it's most extreme duality. And therefore, it's one of the most fruitful for the soul's evolution density. And so those who choose to stay in the third density, that's good for them, because it means they want to learn more of these intense lessons of choice. In the third density, we're learning choice. We're learning to choose. And those people who haven't chosen yet, they didn't even choose to wake up. In order to make choice, you have to wake up. They haven't woke up to the level where they must or need to make the choice, which polarity to go. And so they need more experience and more what they call catalyst of pain, of pleasure, of poverty, of reach, of this catalyst of duality, which creates lots of suffering and pain. However, that suffering and pain allows us to choose which path to go. So it's all good and no one is left behind. So no worries at all. But I want to go through the entire sort of like scales of density, beginning at the first density. So the first density is when the being um, or the individualized portion of the creator, which is the individual soul, individualized portion of creator, given free will, emerges and experiences itself at first density. And that's a density of mineral kingdom of 5 elements, basically. They're ether, fire, water, fire, no, ether, air, fire, water, and earth. 5 elements. And so you were one or maybe all of different elements for about 2 billion years in linear human timeline. So for 2 billion years, you were an element. And you can ask yourself, which element was I mostly? And you can tell by your personality or by your sort of like natural attraction to some element, which element you were, because the memory of your beingness for this 2 billion years is still in your DNA. It's still in your being. Your soul remembers. And so it's wonderful to remember by to the root existence of your own soul by observing, maybe gazing at the light or observing the water or really feeling the wind, the movement of the air, the breath, to really connecting to the rocks. Some people are really attracted to the crystals and the rocks. It's like they're fascinated about it because that's your other self. And another interesting thing is this: because everything exists at the same time, you also exist as an element at the same time as you exist being a human. Isn't that fascinating? So, consciousness at that level learns simply being and existence, simply being. And we as humans sometimes forget how it is simply to be because we're so busy with our mind and now making the choice. We disconnect from the being, yet beingness is our root fundamental principle. And so I invite you sometimes to like go to the nature and just simply become like a rock, become like a water. And I'll tell you, your mental health going to restore very fast. It's one of the best medicines, by the way, for the physical body to heal. The best way, and I've been a healer for 25 years, I'll tell you this. In my experience working with thousands of people, you can heal yourself by just connecting with your own being, disconnecting from that, busy, drunken monkey mind. So now let's go to the second density, the density of growth. That's the density of plant and animal kingdom. And this is where the consciousness learns movement and growth. And you know how a baby is born, it doesn't really know yet how to move, but it's learning the movement. But because it's already a human, let's say baby, it's learning movement very, very fast because it's already learned it as animal and plant. So see, plants, they can't really move, but they know how to grow already. Rocks don't know how to grow. Plants already know how to grow. When I look at the turtle, I was observing turtle in the wild, and it walks around and it looks literally like a rock walking around. And I thought to myself, the desire of the rock to learn movement was so great. And for so long, for 2 billion years, the rock was thinking, how is it to be moving? And it became the turtle. Think about that. And then animals, your pets, observing you, and they wonder. And the latest stages of the second density, pets, our domestic animals, not the cattle, but the ones that we love, the cats, the dogs, your pets, that start to already act almost like humans. Well, those animals already in the last stages of the second density, about to go to the third density, they're about to incarnate as humans, guys. Your dog or cat might be born as a human next lifetime. And you, by loving it, by talking to it, by being so human with it, by seeing the human in it. You know, some dogs, you say, oh my God, the eyes, he just can't talk, but he understands everything. You training that animal to be human through your love and through your being, and treating that animal like a human. And so your pets are wondering, how does it feel to be a human? That's what's happening in their mind. And the wild animals who are not domesticated, the wolves, the deer in the wild, they're in the middle of the second density animal beingness. And so again, you can connect with yourself and see which animal resonates with you the most, because you've been incarnated many times, but there was a specific time where you incarnated a lot as a specific animal. And so you can really connect and learn by observing yourself, by asking your soul, because the second density is 4.6 billion years. Billion. Do you know how much time it is that we've been the plants and the animals? So again, all that memory is in our DNA, stored in our spirals. And so sometimes we talk about ancestors, our human ancestors, and how there's so much power behind us with all the human ancestors. But remember, you also have animal ancestors, because you used to be an animal, and you have elemental plant ancestors, and you have elemental ancestors. And of course, your very, very first ancestors, the creator, the God. Remembering that, just remembering that, who is your first ancestor? You'll be like, why do I ever think of myself as like low or unworthy? My first ancestor is God. You're a child of God. Like, come on. But that's attributes of the third density, when you start to lie to ourselves about all of this. So sometimes our human body, again, can get sick and weak, but you know how wild animals, they have such power, they have such an immunity, they feel at home in nature. And so connecting with your animal self, the instincts that you have, you still have all of that. You just bypassing them with your human mind. But there's so much value in connecting with your inner animal, because there's purity, there is very sharp instincts, there's amazing survival abilities. There is that natural power of the beast within you. Your immune system is like beyond human. So when you activate the animal within yourself, you become so physically strong and so attuned to nature. And it's a very refreshing being, because we spend a lot of time like indoors on our little gadgets, on our little computers, and we take, but our body, physical body, still craves the nature, still craves. So allowing the body, being that animal, going to the nature and running through the woods, or like just being on the beach or swimming in the ocean like a dolphin, that is very healing, both for the body and the mind, because it balances the body and the mind. Because we spend too much time in our mind, and this will restore the power or the energy flow to our body. Okay, so third density is self-awareness. Oh, and by the way, it's not necessarily that you were developed or spent all these billions of years on Earth being the first and the second density. Me, I spent my first in density on Arcturus B, Arcturian wild animal fox, Arcturian fox. And so your soul might evolved in completely different. Um, hello, everybody. In completely different areas of this creation, in different sides of galaxy, or different galaxies, and your memory could be, the five elements, they applied to this creation, they're throughout the entire creation, but life forms and animal forms can very much vary, galaxy to galaxy, right? We can't even imagine what type of animals could be in galaxy. So I saw myself in dream time as this specific animal, which looks like a black and white fox, raccoon type of, like something like this, but nothing like this in the same time. So I saw myself, um, the animal that I spend the second density at least some of that incarnations. And so in a dream states, if you ask yourself, if you talk to your higher self, which is a culmination of all of your evolution, and so it knows all of the evolution because it's very evolved, you, basically higher self, you as an angel, which also exists as you exist right now, because everything exists in the same time. So if you ask your higher self to show you or to remind you which animal form or plant form you were and where, let's say in a dream state, and if you do a deep meditation before you go to sleep, um, you might have the lucid dream, which will show you how it was for you being in the second density. And it's just a beautiful thing because you start to remember yourself. So another attribute to the third density is by the way, how long is the third density? 75,000 years in total. And it breaks in the 3 cycles of 25,000 years. And that is the times of civilizations. So as a human being, we were involved, you were involved in many civilizations. And if you evolved here on Earth, me as a human, I mostly was going through different civilizations on this planet on Earth. So as a human, I'm truly more like an earthling, just an old soul earthling. And so I was going through, like, I spent about 12 or 14 incarnations in Lemuria, some in Atlantis, but mostly Lemuria, and many, many other civilizations, Tartaria, that was, it would rise and fall, rise and fall. It's like breathing. It's like breathing. 75,000 years on Earth, a lot happened because, like any civilization, usually it's like civilization was like 5 to maximum like 10,000 years, right? So, and so all the memory of those civilizations is still with us. The Lemuria, the Atlantis, the Tartaria, and so many that we don't even know yet, but it will be revealed this and until between now and 2030, a lot of the information will be revealed. And the Galactic Federation says you had more civilizations here on Earth than you can imagine. So I don't even know myself right now exactly, but we're going to find out soon. So, third density, the consciousness learns choice. And I was talking about the choice in the beginning, where it's either positive polarity or the negative polarity. Also, third density, the veil also of forgetting who we are is very strong. So, we born here completely forgetting everything. Like we're only our subconscious, deep, deep, deep remembers. And there is purpose for that. The purpose is that so we learn in every incarnation, we learn the lessons from the fresh start. Because if we would remember our past, um, which is movie we played like lifetimes, it's like a movie over and over again, we wouldn't feel the rapture of emotions, the real loss, the real separation from the source and from each other. And so we wouldn't learn this deep, deep lessons that we came to this third density to learn. So veil, some people cursing the veil of forgetting, but in some other creations, without the veil of forgetting, the evolution was extremely slow. And but our son Logos, which created this our creation here, the solar system, this experience, or this um, framework of this mind, decided to do the veil of forgetting so that the evolution goes very, very fast, because we have to make choice like it's a first choice we've never made. And the intensity of experience is so great that we almost like have to make the choice as soon as possible. All right. About anything, even about what to have for lunch. But I mean, choices like to leave someone or to stay with someone, to love ourselves or to hate ourselves, to save someone or to abandon someone. It's like the always choices during your lifetime where you had this intense emotions going through you. And each choice feels sometimes like it's a death or life, because we forget that we're immortals. And that creates a very intense experience through which we learn a lot. And so even during like the wars, right, the war is a mentality of fear. And so through fear, which is absence of love, we choose love, or we choose fear, and we go into creating a more negative timelines. But it's a choice, conscious or subconscious. And so right now, this big, big divide, and the gap is becoming stronger and stronger, because we are really forced to choose, not forced, but we are in a situation where we really need to choose between the love and the fear. And people who will stay in fear and the victim mentality, they will go down this negative timelines, they create, because we are the infinite creators, they're creating the negative timelines. And those who are aware enough to know, to remember that we're the creators, they will consciously, despite their instincts, you see, this is the where the third density needs to override the second, the instinctual fear of survival. When you become conscious enough to make the choice towards love, despite your fear of survival, not like doing reckless behavior to destroy yourself, basically, but knowing that love will create a place of safety versus protecting yourself, taking from others, and feeling that this is safety, but it's actually based in fear. So letting go and trusting your own power and your own knowing and your own love, that is emerging of the fourth density right now. And it's a critical time right now. This is it's hard to make this choice sometimes, because instincts of survival and fears is entrenched so deeply into your subconscious mind. The whole third density, second density, survival, right? And the third density, the wars, it's all the third density based in fear. So fourth density, love and understanding. Fourth density is for 30 million years. So third density is 75,000 years, very short, but very intense. It's like going to advanced, very advanced school where you go intense learning, right? Third density. The love understanding, the one who will graduate to the fourth. And each density has lots of sub densities, by the way, many different colors, just like the sleeve of my hoodie, different colors. So 30 million years, heart-based consciousness. Humanity creates social memory complex. We become more and more like one consciousness. Telepathy is a normal thing. We're literally exchanging information. We're sharing our heart. We're sharing our mind. And that's what the collective consciousness is. The collective collective consciousness of Ra, people who read the Ra material. So Ra now is a sixth density collective consciousness of humans who used to be humans evolving on the planet Venus. And so Ra says, yes, we were once just like you on our planet, and we learned different lessons, and now we are this angelic being. But we look back at you and we remember ourselves, and it's just sweet memory. And that's why they're extending their wisdom and their love to us, because they see us as not only other selves, but it reminds them of themselves being in the third grade. Densities can be compared to the grades also in school, where you like graduate, or like you're learning certain lessons and you graduate to the next. You're learning something and you graduate to the next. And by the way, every soul's journey is different and timing is different. And some souls choose to stay in a second density for a longer time than others, and some choose to stay for a shorter time. And so don't judge yourself. Like, if your soul chooses to be a human for a longer time because it just enjoys that human experience, it enjoys the intensity of the third density, the, don't think that those people are behind or ahead, or like that does not apply. Nobody's behind, nobody's ahead. We simply in this present moment experiencing ourselves in a certain density, and it's all infinitely valuable. You never make mistakes. You're never behind or ahead of anybody. You're simply learning your lessons. So be careful, because like some people have this spiritual ego, and the Galactic Federation keeps saying that the biggest block of spiritual evolution is a spiritual ego on the third density as a human, because we have this big ego, right? Some pets already start to develop the ego, though. If you notice your pets and you see how they already like start to like give you attitude, okay, there's gonna be a human soon. This one. All right, so 30 million years. Still polarization, service to self or service to others. And this is where the demonic entities come in play. So you can be extremely, if you're positive on the first density, extremely evolved, beautiful person of love light, creating the collective consciousness. We all in service to each other, and it's like heaven on earth. However, for those choosing the negative path, they become this more advanced demonic. So they become great at manipulation, and using each other and doing inflicting pain, and that's a negative polarity. But a majority of people, like 95% of people, choosing the positive, and only about 5% choosing the negative path, because negative path is so much more demanding. It's so much harder. But some souls choose a negative, and in a way they in service to the positive, because they bring the contrast, they bring the lessons, and without the villain there is no hero. So the duality still exists, because duality is the foundation of evolution, the polarity of negative and positive. So the energy goes. Without polarity, the energy is just static, it doesn't move anywhere. But with polarity, the evolution. So don't curse the negative path. They, in a way, doing a very hard yet a very valuable service to everyone, because they're inflicting the pain, they're inflicting the showing the darkness from cosmic perspective. And of course, when you see somebody's being abused, you're like, oh, it's not fair, it's not right. Well, you chosen positive polarity, and that's why, it feels like from a perspective of third density. But when you look at the cosmic perspective, you go like, well, you know what, respect to you, thank you for your service, but no thank you for your service. So here you're learning the free will to decline the service of those who offer you negative service, of like abusing you. You say, well, I see that, you know, you trying to teach me lessons, but those lessons I no longer need. And so thank you very much. And usually if you don't need the lessons, they won't even approach you anymore. But if you still have psychic attacks, it means you need to do the shadow work, because only the shadow within yourself will attract the negative polarity by resonance. If you resonate, if you somewhere you harbor fear deep within yourself, by resonance, those beings will be attracted to the fear to teach you the lessons of fear, so that you can learn love. And this is where you need to do the shadow work, because it's the fastest way to learn the lessons, to resolve the fear-based mental programs, and to change the polarity of fear into love, turning the fear into love within yourself. And then you will not attract the negative people, the negative entities, the negative circumstances that bring you pain, the poverty, the abuse, the attacks, and all this stuff. And of course, again, use the manual, Conversations with Fear, Shadow Work, Return to Love. It's available on Amazon, the book. And also another one is the Mirror Method. It's a video course. I'm finishing the book about it too, because book is sometimes easier to kind of like, you can go back and forth. You can hold it in your hands. So use those tools. They are free to use, because all you need to do is to observe yourself or observe the world. And remembering that world is your mirror. If you see something negative, they're negative, I'm negative. How do I write myself positive? And you detail that process. You like really pay attention to every detail. And also, you can use the mirror method like I used today. I went to the beach to meditate, and I saw the magnificence of this creation. Looking at the sky, everything is magnificent. And so most people don't see it, because they're running around, they're doing their jogging, they talk on the phone on the beach, they like, and they don't notice the magnificence. And so when you see the magnificence outside there, the world is magnificent, I am magnificent, and I connected to my own magnificence. and I feel such a peace and such expansion of energy, such power, the power and the peace of the power and the peace of one infinite creator within myself. And that just the synchronicities start to happen perfectly. I am keep running on the most beautiful people, the most beautiful circumstances the whole day today. It's just so nice. And so the mirror of the world can be both. It's both reflects a positive and a negative. So the negative is to rewrite and change the notice the negative within yourself, but also see the positive mirror and acknowledge to yourself your own magnificence, your own beauty. So going back to the fourth density. Um, so yes, still polarization still exists, negative or positive. You choose now. The time of choice is now for humanity, for those who graduate. Most people graduate 95% into the positive. The small percentage will go to the negative. And looks like Elon Musk chosen the negative. But at Trump, he's actually at heart a good guy and he's trying to do the right thing, but he's in a very weird spot. People keep asking me about what do you think about Trump? Well, he's at heart, he's chosen the good. And by the way, Galactic Federation approached Trump and they made an agreement. And of course, he said, I hear you. I'm going to do my best, but I'm in a very sensitive spot. I'm literally surrounded by negative Anunnakis and the negative reptilians. And I'm in this, I'm trying to like be diplomatic because, I have to be, otherwise they just eliminate you. And if they eliminate him, he cannot do the service to people. But at heart, he wants to do good. So let's see, we all have choices, we make choices, and we have to respect our choices but also respect other people's choices. And people with a very sort of like high pressure positions, they have to make big choices, right? But it's their path. Our focus should be on our choices every single day, every single moment. You chose to be on this podcast. Thank you. Like you, hopefully learning something, and that's good. Talk about Agartha. I will maybe in a different podcast. Honey, we'll talk about different civilizations, including Agartha and Atlantis and Lemuria, and different podcasts. Maybe next Sunday, I will cover many of them from the information from the Galactic Federation. It'll be very interesting. Oh, by the way, lots of this you can find, including Agartha, in this book. You can get it on Amazon. Galactic Federation Speaks, 400 pages, lots of really good information. And I give the word to word their sort of transmissions, plus I explain it for people who it's sometimes hard to understand, but I explain it. And it's easy, fun read. And also at the end, I give you practices, the spiritual practices that allow you to graduate, to make the choice to graduate easier, to ascend easier. And those tools are given by Pleiadians, by Metatron. So like they are reliable tools for ascension, because those guys, they know, they've been there. That's the tools they use to ascend also. And they gave the same tools to Atlanteans and to Agarthians and to Lemurians. And now it's to us, because we forgot and now we're remembering again. So much less physical density. So fourth density of light is higher, physical density less. Our bodies will be literally like glowing. Like if we would go time travel from the fourth density to the third, we would see ourselves like saints. You know how they paint saints with the glow? Here we go. With the glow, like I have this picture. Her body glows because she's fourth or fifth density, and for our eye back in I don't know how many thousand years ago, people saw her glowing, and all the saints with halo, because they were already fourth or fifth density, they were higher density beings, and therefore people saw them glowing. So we probably already glowing to someone who is like uh 2000 years ago, because we're about to go to the fourth density. We don't see it ourselves because we're all kind of like in the same timeline, but we will be glowing even more. um Telepathy is normal. Okay, and that's the fourth density, 30 million years in average. 30 million years of such superpowers and bliss. Oh, by the way, all these movies with the Marvel and everything, those are you guys in the fourth and going to the fifth densities. But all later fourth densities, we have all the supernatural abilities. Speaking of supernatural abilities, besides telepathy, it's like mind-boggling, and I'm looking forward to experience myself and you guys having all these amazing abilities to like levitate and fly, and like when you see the Marvel movies and all these animes where they have like OP abilities, that's us basically. So now I'm like making a list of which one would I like to have. Which one should I have? Oh, I can heal people. I can help people to heal instantaneously. I can heal myself instantaneously. That's an easy one. I'm already doing it right now. But I don't know. I have to think about it more. So fourth density. Then after fourth, we're going to the fifth density. Fifth density is a 15 million years, even longer. And that's beings like Metatron and our galactic teachers, Pleiadians, fifth density, focus on wisdom, clarity, refinement of consciousness. But it's density of wisdom. Oh, by the way, speak of densities. If you know chakra system, that's basically corresponds to the chakra system. First density, root chakra, first, corresponds to the element of earth and all five elements. Um, no, first density. Second chakra, second density, growth, movement. Third density, navel, Manipura. And that's why our sun represents, like in Ayurvedic cosmology, sun is in your navel, our sun. That's a rule of the third density human collective right now, the mind of the logos of a human. Then fourth density is heart, open heart, unconditional love. Fourth, fifth density, fifth chakra, more supernatural abilities, wisdom, all the magic, all these magicians who can poof things out of thin air. That's fifth density. That's when the money is no longer in any, it doesn't matter anymore. Resources doesn't matter because you can poof anything you want out of the thin air. Imagine whatever you want, poof it out of thin air. We're coming to that, okay? We're still learning to embrace, to open our heart and allow the abundance come in, because all poverty created by the tension, the tightness, the fear in our heart. When we start to relax a little bit, then you see how the abundance moves through you. And there are exercises for that. I have the whole, on this channel, I have, it's called Manifest. It's a free course in a playlist. If you can find it, the playlist, Manifest. And it has lots of exercises of how to open the abundance within yourself. So minimal physicality. So we at fifth density, our body's not going to glow. We're going to become more like light, which can take any form, Light can take any form, shapeshift. We can shapeshift already in fourth, like late fourth. It's already one of the supernatural abilities, but we become pure light. That's how advanced the fifth is. And the sixth density, density of unity and balance. Oh, duality still exists on the fifth. A very powerful demons, the dark magic, dark magicians, fifth density. Very powerful, positive, like a Gandalf type of fifth density. It's like Gandalf the Grey becomes Gandalf the White. He becomes like super powerful. So evolution of this magic. Well, no, Gandalf because he still had a physical body. It was within the fourth density, higher subdensity. He graduated to higher subdensity. But so duality still exists in the fifth. The power and wisdom there is like beyond our imagination, but we're going to get there. And then sixth density, the density of oneness. So what happens in the fifth density is we all will have to make a choice. The negative polarity cannot graduate to the sixth density. And that's a story of Lucifer, by the way. So Lucifer, collective consciousness of Lucifer, they graduated the fifth. And before they go to the sixth oneness, they had to chosen the positive polarity. So no one can graduate to the sixth in the negative polarity. Because the creator, the oneness is positive. The creator is positive. Okay, the duality exists, so evolution happens. You know, the Ida and Pingala, Sushumna channel, right? And this duality of the lunar and solar in Ayurvedic cosmology of the body. Our body is the whole universe. The whole map of our existence is written within our own body. That's amazing. But duality ends here. And so Lucifer, they chose not to go to the oneness, but they chose to be in service to existence, to humanity as a negative entity, giving people the lessons. Imagine they did not. It's like, in a way, it's like almost like a it's not a sacrifice, but it's a choice. But this choice is to be in negative service to humanity, so humanity evolves and learns, because somebody have to be the teacher, right? And Lucifer basically volunteered for this dirty job. And you know what? I have so much respect. It's not an easy job, but that's what they've done as a collective consciousness. Many beings of negative polarity together, a Luciferian collective, it's called. And they're in service to you. And I hope you appreciate it. Many of us like, no, we don't want that service. Sorry, you gotta learn. Somebody gotta be that spanking teacher, right? Okay. So that was okay. Sixth density, 75 million. The polarity dissolves. The love and wisdom is completely balanced here, because here we have fourth. We have sometimes so much love that we can destroy ourselves sometimes to serve someone, because it's not balanced with wisdom. And the wisdom, sometimes we're so wise, but we become like too sort of like too wise, you know what I mean? When it's not balanced with the heart. We're not innocent like children. Sometimes we're too smart, too wise, not innocent like children. But the sixth one is when you completely balance the heart and the wisdom. The sixth one. That's angelic realm. Wow. So sixth density, your higher self exists on the sixth density. And the higher self, because everything exists at the same times, you already now exist as your higher self, which is accumulation of all your incarnations, past and future. all of them in that one collective consciousness of you. You already have the memory, collective memory complex, it's called, of you, of your soul as your higher self. And your soul is about to merge. It's in the late stages of sixth density, about to merge back to the creator, back to the oneness, back to the God. But as a last service to you, it exists to give you guidance, to give you support, to give you wisdom, to give you love. And so the best thing you can do for yourself is to start connecting with your own higher self. Don't look for knowledge from anyone else, really. I mean, little guidance and reminder, like for me, I'm just reminding you of what you already are. But your unique evolution, you know yourself more than anyone else from all the incarnations and everything. And so you are your own best teacher, best guide, best advisor, best health advisor, best relationship advisor, best money advisor, best everything advisor. So connecting to the higher self uh, should be a prime focus. And I have that free meditation where you go through all the chakras, balance all the chakras, and you connect with your higher self. And I give the links in the bio. It's on this channel. It's called Inner Alchemy. Inner Alchemy, alchemizing yourself to the higher, turning lead into the gold, into the light, and remembering yourself as your higher self. I do this meditation every single morning before I even eat anything. It's like I go sun gaze and I do this meditation and I align myself and I connect to the wisdom. The downloads are coming, the inspiration, the energy is beautiful, because with all the collective that's happening right now, we're all getting affected. We're bombarded with lots of negative stuff, the chemtrails, the bad news, the negative people around. We need to align every single, it's like a taking shower. It's like a taking spiritual shower. We need to make it as a practice. I highly advise, your life will be so much easier, and your sort of like the transition will be so much easier and lighter, and you can integrate the light codes that's coming through central sun right now easier, because you need to make a little like you need to make a little step towards them too. It's like they're coming to you, but if you're not taking the step towards, not even meeting them halfway, meeting them at least an inch more, just a little bit more. Because if you're in a really low density, the light codes, the light, the advice, the voice of your own high self cannot penetrate the veil of forgetting. So you need to kind of like a little pierce it. And then the avalanche of everything good is coming to you on a daily basis. So that's the sixth density, your higher self. Time, space, mastery, and deep work with creation itself. It's going to be interesting. Seventh density, seventh chakra. Boop. Timeless. Consciousness prepares to merge back into the one infinite creator. Individual identity dissolves. This density completes an octave. And after the seventh density, there is a new octave begins, of which Ra and the Galactic Federation and all our angelic beings on this density do not know, because they are themselves on a sixth density, on sixth density, fifth, sixth, some seven, but the new octave, it's like a completely new mystery unfolds. Sun, our creator sun, the sub logos, is itself a sixth density being. Okay. So after this, don't know, but we're on the third. We don't need to worry about the next octave right now. We will know about it when we'll approach it. Right now, we need to focus on graduating from third to the fourth, uh, creating the choice, making the choices, conscious choices, understanding um, our polarity. So we have already reached sixth density. Yes, as your higher self, you are, but you focused in your individual body, in your individual like ego mind complex right now on earth. You're focused, or you exist within this third to fourth density parameters right now. So your work is here now. Okay, your focus is here now. You're not completely aware of yourself on sixth density level, because you chosen to experience this right now and doing all this work and play in this playground, and this is where your focus is, because this is where the evolution is, remembering that the whole creation happens at the same time. In a bigger scheme of things, time do not exist. Time exists as it's a material thing. When we come to the third and the fourth density and the fifth density, time begin to dissolve, and the sixth density time dissolves. So let's see. In Portuguese, I don't speak Portuguese. Still in the third density. Yes, we're still in the third density right now, graduating to the fourth. The shift happens like we're shifting timelines to the positive or to the negative, depending. And then we keep remembering the veil become thinner and thinner. So it's a gradual process. But this year, everything gonna accelerate so fast. You're gonna feel like time going faster, everything going faster. And by the time of this year, by the end of this year, you will be a completely different person, because you will change so much during this year. That's why I want to do this today, and in the beginning of this year and during this year, I'm going to do this podcast, because like we need a little support. Well, yes. Will my 18-year-old child come with me if I go to the fourth? It's his choice. He's an infinite soul. He's in creator. He chosen to be a child this lifetime, but you need to honor his choices, and also you need to honor the choices of the polarity. Some people want to become the bad guys, or negative polarity, some positive, some want to stay, some want to go. We don't know. You can ask him if he wants to come with you. I also have two children, and one of them chosen to go, and another one, I don't know yet. He is very much affected by the matrix of public system, and his paternal mother, he lives with his father more, and so he's affected by that matrix. The church, the Catholic Church, the public school, the whole thing, and I'm there shining, standing in my love and light for him and my freedom. But whether he chooses this path or the path of the matrix, we can only show them what's possible. We can only give them the information, and whatever people you choose, it's up to them. Can you say what will happen for the 144,000? The graduation to the fourth density. Well, I described the fourth density. That's going to be collective consciousness of humanity. We will start to form the human collective, connecting our loving unconditionally, telepathy, sharing the mind, our experiences, because veil will be completely, we will start to remember our past incarnations. So we will have access to so much information, guys, and all the experiences from our past lives, first, second, third density, all. You being a pirate, you being a king, you being I don't know, nurse, you being the mother of seven, you all those experiences. Not only we're gonna individually remember them, we will be able to share them with others. So like our knowledge, our being, our awareness gonna go explosive. It's gonna be like imagine the power. Like we can't even imagine what we are. We are so huge. Will my child come with okay? Yeah. My son is disabled, has no speech, and has no awareness of anything happening to the matrix. He's autistic and he is single radio frequency match. Yeah. Listen, in his ego mind, maybe he's autistic. The soul is not autistic. His soul chose to incarnate in this type of body because you had an agreement. You are to learn some valuable lessons. He is your teacher this lifetime. Somehow, he probably came here so you really open heart and really start to love unconditionally. Maybe he's helping you to graduate to the fourth because it's hard, right? To be with, to take care and to love someone who you think is not even responsive or aware. Oh, he's very much aware on the soul level. We're just playing the roles here. This is a theater. This is a movie theater. And that's why the Galactic Federation says, like, watch this world, the third density, like a movie you already watched so many times because we've incarnated so many times here and we keep forgetting that we incarnated. It's the first time. It's the first time. Oh no, 75,000 years we've done that thing, keep incarnating every 100 years. Like in my case, every 100 years, I'm like, oh, new lifetime. Oh, I forgot everything, like a first thing. No. The soul remembers. So remember that. Look at your son from that perspective. I don't remember my dreams. Will that change with 4D? Oh, yeah, absolutely. When you become super conscious, you will start to become lucid and you start to remember that this is also a dream. Your soul is dreaming. So as you wake up here, you also wake up in your dreams, and that's the lucid dreaming. And I recommend you, if you want to accelerate this process, do the microdosing of shrooms, psychedelic mushrooms, microdosing before you go to bed. Take a little micro, because if you take too much, you cannot sleep. Your pineal gland will be super activated. But if it's just a little bit, it's so much easier to become lucid. And I happen to have an entire free video course on this YouTube, on this channel, my YouTube channel, and it's called How to Grow Mushrooms. You can find it under the videos. How do you call it? You'll find it there basically. But I have the entire video course. You can grow them at home yourself if it's like hard to buy. It's a little bit involved process, but once you master it, it's going to be very easy if you have interest. Oh, a playlist. You're going to find a playlist, how to grow your own mushrooms. We have been together for many lives and years. Taught me so much. Good. Okay, good. Which books do you have? Enjoy them. Are my pets coming with me? So some pets, they're like almost like a guardian angels, souls, and they can incarnate in the fourth. And you know how in this anime where these pets, they have supernatural abilities too, like they have superpowers. Which anime is that? In Pokemon or something. They're like Pokemons, right? With different, they're very cute and they're like OP. So pets, because we will develop supernatural abilities, the pets might be also kind of OP. It'll be kind of fun. We're gonna have our personal Pokemons. Japanese anime like One Piece, like Demon Slayer, is all about shadow work. If you want to see the best anime, for the which is the best animation, like the most spectacular, beautiful animation with so much emotion, Demon Slayer, amazing. And then for the whole world to see what's going on, like One Piece really tells you all the hidden information if you can kind of like read between the lines. I highly recommend this too. Japanese are really, they really disclosing a lot through their so-called cartoonies. That's why they go like cartoons, but really they're revealing a lots of knowledge. I think lots of positive white hats are in Japan, and they're influencing the whole world with their anime. Like One Piece, what in Nepal they did the whole revolution. The Gen Zs, right? They did the whole revolution under the flag of the One Piece. Interesting. Well, we've been okay. Okay. Do you know anything about harmonic frequency? Yes, frequencies are useful. The high frequency is always, but like Pleiadians also said, don't focus too much on like, don't be obsessed with frequencies and sound, because remember your own frequency, connect to your own frequency of soul. Like, place your hand on your heart and really listen to your unique note in the symphony of this creation, connecting to your own frequency, embracing it, knowing yourself. That's more important than listening to this frequency or that frequency. Those are helpful too, to sometimes to let your mind, to balance your body a little bit. If your mind is really unbalanced, it's good to listen to the harmonics. That's healing. But the most healing, listening to the beat of your own heart. Remember, the whole cosmos, the whole creation is within yourself. Turn your attention for your healing, for the wisdom, for everything inwards. Stop looking for salvation out there. This is the biggest mistake we make. We go for that. Oh, this new teacher. Oh, that food gonna save me. All that. No, 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 no. That's the best kept secret. Go within. And they try to distract you with all this, you know, glamorous rappers with all this um, things, shiny things, shiny objects, this and this. No, right here, the best vibration. Do you know anything about the UFO and activity in Sedona? Oh my God, yeah, I've been in Sedona so many times. I love it. I felt them, I saw them. There's so many ships because Sedona is a very high frequency. It's like a portal where the high frequency crafts can be can resonate, and they can enter because it's a high frequency place plateau. So there are lots of crafts everywhere. By the way, we just cannot see them, but there's a lots of crafts, and because the veil is thinner, you can feel them more. That's the thing about Sedona. Great place to meditate. It's so easy to meditate, so easy to ascend there. You just sit on this, high level plateau, and you just go poof, easy. Fourth dimension, we will still be in our body. This body is mortal. Some of us, this body is upgrading, and we might have longer longevity, but eventually you might reincarnate in a new body, which will be much more light, completely fourth density, because this is like a hybrid body, which we need right now so it can hold the intensity of high vibration of light that's coming in right now, so it can have our like awakening minds or selves. the vessel needs to be more high vibrational, because if it's low vibrational, people die. That's why uh, so many people died during the COVID, because that, you know, of course, people were hit with fear, but that was such a big choice. Humanity was given a choice. Demons, they're in our service always. So they brought so much fear, and so many people chose love in presence of so much fear. You had to really choose either to die from fear or to choose love and survive. So many people died. And my friend who was working at the hospital here in Miami, she's like, people who died, because she was there every day seeing people dying. There was all sick, fat, obese, people who never took care of themselves, like really kind of like depressing, like low frequency. And so they got hit so hard, and they they couldn't elevate themselves to higher frequency to survive this big hit of the negative. And so our body will correspond to the level of consciousness that it needs to harbor, basically. But eventually, I'm looking forward to even better body. Hey, can you talk about white hats, please? White hats. So white hats are such superheroes for me. So those are so imagine the Freemasons, right? They're powerful, they have knowledge, they have so much money, they are magicians, they're white magicians. That's what white hats are. The black hats are in service to themselves, the cabal. They're the one who is constantly abusing the humanity, the negative path, typical. White hats are the opposite. They're like Freemasons, but who are good. And lots of those people, even the Freemasons, donate, like, create lots of good things. And so I think like animes like One Piece, which is longest running anime, which really enlightens people, and I'm still watching it, and it's like learning so much. They really dispel the whole ice wall and everything. Like they talk about um, the earth, at what's really happening, the truth. I think it was sponsored by the White Hats and the Demon Slayer too, because it's very expensive projects, but they are somebody's funding it, right? So in the background, white hats, without interfering with free will, because free will is number one law. Negative polarity does not respect free will. They try to manipulate you, they try to bend your free will, so you choose fear. They're trying to create circumstances where you choose fear. It's like the most logical thing, like run or hide, um, and white hats respect their free will, so they work behind the scenes, but lots of those good things that's happening in society, white hats doing it. So they're the good guys. And again, you can like connect with them, in your own mind, and say, listen, guys, I want to be with you. Like I made this choice. I said to them a couple of years ago, I was like, white hats, like, hey guys, I want to work with you guys. I'm with you. I am with you. And once you make a statement like this, okay, you made the choice. Instead of like, oh, black hat's attacking me. Oh, white hat's not doing enough. What are you doing, Do you know which show? Do you know which show up there? And are they everywhere? Are you talking about the everywhere? They everywhere. You mean the UFOs? They're pretty much everywhere. Also, reptilians are everywhere. Everybody's everywhere. We don't see like even like 5% of what's happening. Everybody's everywhere. Can you tell something about Pleiadians and how to connect with them? The best way to connect with Pleiadians, the way I do it, I go at night and I stargaze at Pleiades. And I feel they communicate through my heart. They're going to communicate through your heart. You cannot with your mind connect. and they're singing the harmonics. Like I literally felt not only the downloads and this most piercing, beautiful love. A couple days ago, when I was gazing at Pleiades on the beach, right at night, so beautiful, they start to sing. Like I heard they connected to me with a song, with like a frequency song, and I felt the melody. I could hear and I felt at the same time the melody in my heart. It like it was like, but it's such a like undescribable experience. So go gaze, quiet your mind, breathe, and connect with Pleiadians, and they will talk to you directly. They're totally available. What a great timeline to live. Isn't it amazing timeline? Oh my God. Yes. We are the freedom fighters. And you know how we fight for freedom? We we choose to be free. That's how we fight. There's nobody to really fight. We simply make the choice. I'm sovereign, I'm free. Luffy in One Piece, he goes, I will be the king of pirates. Not because I want to dominate somebody, because I will be the freest person. And the freest person, sure enough, is a king of pirates. I think I've been a pirate in some past lives because I'm attracted to that. Freedom, that's right. The freest person, your own free will, honoring your own free will. You're welcome. Talk about intention setting. So our power is in choosing our intentions. Yes, you're so infinitely powerful. We are being taught by our parents early on, you're not supposed to do this, don't do this, don't do this, you're not allowed this, you're not allowed this. Boom, boom. And then we internalize the parents, shadow work, and we ourselves not allowing this, not allowing that, not allowing this, not allowing. Become allowing a little bit. I was just at it's called Coco Market Fest. It's like lots of hippies come together and there's music and all this natural thing. And I see there's a band playing and this guy with a trumpet playing, and I see these kids. And one kid, he's maybe like 3 years old, and he looks at the trumpet and he's trying to like pretend he's playing, and he saw a little trumpet there. There's a second trumpet, and he was trying to grab it. His mother's no, and he's like, okay. And then the mother turned around. He like wanted to like touch the trumpet so much, and the mother's no. And I'm like, oh my God, I just wanted to go to his mother and say, just let him touch the trumpet. But I'm like, okay, listen, I'm not gonna get involved. He's learning his experience. But I'm like, okay, it's a mirror. Where am I not allowing myself to act on my highest inspiration? Where am I thinking that I'm not allowed to do something because somebody doesn't allow it? Thinking about the war, like the laws, social laws, and all of that stuff. And so I'm like, that's a mirror. I'm like, okay, let me find more freedom. I allow myself whatever I want. I allow myself, I am in service to others. And now allow myself to have or do whatever I want without obviously harming anyone, but for my own. Okay. And so, yeah, intention. Just know what you want. Choose. That's all. Put one word on your wall somewhere. Write it on a yellow sticky note. Choose. And put it on your fridge, put it in your car. Choose. Keep choosing. That's how you set. How are we supposed to save ourselves from their terrible agendas? We save ourselves from their terrible agendas by creating our own agendas and sticking to it. So find your own agenda. What is your agenda? Their agenda, free will. They do whatever. What is your agenda? Don't look outside for salvation. Determine your own agenda. I call it in a shadow work book. I call it writing your own. The founding fathers of this country, they wrote what? The amendments, right? So write your own amendments for your own timeline, for your own life. You are the king or a queen. You are the founding father or the mother of your own life. So write your own agendas. I came out of 50 years of Christian church to what they say is heresy. Please talk about Jesus, Yeshua, and him as God. So, but the message of Jesus was so simple, and he said it so many times. And you will do the greater things. He was a late fourth density being, late fourth density, going to the fifth. So he graduated to the fifth after this incarnation where he was in service to humanity in such a massive way. But he was trying to remind people that they are children of God. He said, I am son of God, and you will do the greater things. You also children of God. And so that is the true creator. The false creator, even the this 10 amendments or something, the Moses, they came from negative polarity because they were prohibitions. Do not this, do not kill, do not steal, do not this, do not that, do not this. Maybe they were useful because humanity was like in a deep Kali Yuga, forgetting themselves. But according to the law of free will, you cannot say you cannot do something. You do not prohibit the entire collective humanity to do something. You have free will given to you by the creator. That's the first distortion of the first law of this creation, free will. And so that is a true God, free will. As soon as you see a prohibitions, as somebody's trying to manipulate you with fear, that's it. That's a negative polarity working by disguise of divine. The church goes like this: you can access God, but only through me. Pay some money. I mean, here's donations. Like after every service, like they give you like, put $1 right here. I mean, it's not obvious, but we've been brainwashed with fear. Anyways, use your own discernment. How to be at that frequency as a star seed. Keep choosing love and freedom. Keep choosing love. That's all. You're already a child of God. You're not behind or ahead of nothing. As you shed the fear, as you shed the negative, all that negative stuff,